everyone, how is it going? We are live here, or maybe we're dead here, I'm not really sure, but the Technicolor Mike B Show. Yes, it is Monster Monday, no it is Animals A to Z, I don't know what's going on here. It's V is for Vampire. Yes. V is for Vampire. So yeah, we are doing another animal design, or are we? Maybe it's a monster design. So yeah, we had a few choices available to us for the letter V. There was the vulture, the vervet monkey, a primate found in many parts of eastern and southern Africa, the vicuña, a mammal found in South America related to the llama, the viper, those venomous snakes, a vole, the rodent that resembles a mouse, or the vampire bat, and we decided to go for the vampire. Yeah, so there really are bats called vampire bats. There are three vampire bat species found in Central and South America. They are the only species of mammals that have evolved. We'll just start that one over. They are the only species of mammals that have evolved to feed exclusively on blood. So yeah, the three species are the common vampire bat, the hairy-legged vampire bat, and the white-winged vampire bat. And they evolved from the fruit-eating bats with specialized teeth, or with sharp teeth specialized for piercing fruit. And while other bats have almost lost the ability to maneuver on land, vampire bats can walk, jump, and even run using a unique bounding gait in which their forelimbs instead of their hind limbs are recruited for the force of propulsion. Yeah, so I guess there are other bats that sink their teeth into fruit, but the vampire bat sinks its teeth into animals to suck their blood. And the vampire bats were named after the vampire folklore and integrated into the mythology after they were discovered in South America in the 16th century. So that is as long as Europeans have known about the vampire bat, when they were first discovered in the 16th century. So the vampire from folklore is older than the vampire bat species, and they subsist by feeding on the vital essence of humans and animals, generally speaking, the form of blood from the living. One of the more famous vampires from literature is Dracula from Bram Stoker. And he was not the first one to link bats to vampires, but in the story, Dracula is able to transform into a bat. So it's not just that vampires and bats are related to each other or live together, but Dracula could transform into a bat. So vampires are a mythological creature from folklore, and that more or less means every version of a vampire that you hear about will have a slightly different characteristics, because the authors, the storytellers, took liberty to sort of customize the vampire for their needs. But some general characteristics of the vampire is that they drink blood of the living. And to become a vampire, you need to be bitten by another vampire. Yes, so if I bite a person, there is a chance that person will become a vampire. Now, different stories have different things, circumstances that must also occur. It's not automatically a given. A lot of stories say that a vampire can look in a mirror and will not have a reflection. And they will also, some of the stories say that vampires do not cast a shadow. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo, what color should we use? Yeah, so that varies from story to story. A lot of stories have the vampires sleeping in a coffin. So vampires are undead, and they sleep during the day. Yeah, if you are undead, coffins are no big deal for you. And a coffin is a good way to keep the sunlight off you while you sleep, because they're sleeping during the day. A common part of the story is that sunlight can kill a vampire, so it is important that they have a bed that is dark, so they would have to live deep in a cave. But if they're in a house or a mansion, they need some other means to keep the light out beyond just some curtains hanging in the windows. So a coffin would make sense, but not all vampires die from the sunlight. In the Twilight Saga, those vampires, when they are in sunlight, they glitter, they sparkle, so that yeah, if you're trying to remain anonymous so people don't know you're a vampire, you want to avoid the sun, because yeah, you'll stand out like a sore thumb if you're glittering like a gemstone and no one else is glittering. You're like, what's wrong with you? You're a vampire, aren't you? So yeah, so that is the Twilight Saga's version of vampires and why they avoid sunlight. And some of the other things that a lot of the stories say that vampires don't like garlic. So if you have a bunch of cloves of garlic around your neck, you can protect yourself from being bitten in the neck by a vampire. And apparently a lot of the stories say a vampire does not age. I guess if you're already dead, you're not going to get any older. But you can still kill a vampire by various means. Some stories, if you chop a vampire into pieces, they can still reconstitute themselves and reform. So you want to do something more than that. You might burn their body in a fire. You might stab a wooden stake through their heart. So yeah, just different stories have different ways of killing the vampires. Here is our vampire balloon. I want to drink your blood. Yes, and I know there was that the vampire, the Count on Sesame Street, that loved to count things. Well, apparently that is also part of the mythology, that bats like to count things. So if you're being chased by a bat, if you have a bunch of seeds and you scatter them in front of you, the vampire might stop to count all of those seeds, allowing you to get away while they 1 seed, 2 seeds, yes, 3,814 seeds, and by that time you're long gone, safe from the vampire's reach. But yeah, that is the great thing about literature and mythological beings. You can modify the mythology and sort of define your own characteristics for those creatures. You're not just locked into, there is one and only Spider-Man, and everyone knows who he is, what he looks like. Oh wait, there's a dozen different Spider-Man depending on which Spider-Verse you're in. But yeah, vampires, there are a bigger variety of them. Some can transform into wolves, and mice, and rats, and bats, and snakes, and just a variety of creatures. You have Vampirina, the cartoon. You have the vampires from a lot of different TV shows. Hotel Transylvania, you have Grandpa Munster. Yeah, there's a lot of vampires out there in pop culture. And they all are a little bit different. Not all of them are evil and mean monsters. But yeah, that is what we did for today. V is for vampire. So thanks for watching. Until next time, see you later, alligator. After a while, crocodile.